Hope you all like the sound of the Lamborghini Aventador. I'm gonna put this screen up. Hello everybody! How are we all doing today? I have some footage on this. You're gonna enjoy. I have been out and about this weekend. If you didn't know, that's why there was no stream yesterday. I was gonna go karting yesterday. Unfortunately, the track was closed. The Munster Kart Club had taken the track for the day, so we're gonna go try again next week for that. There won't be any footage of karting on the channel when I do go. Finally, we do get onto the track. But instead, we went down to Blarney yesterday evening, and we went to see Cannonball Run, which is a supercar rally that was going through Ireland. And this morning, I got up early because it was going through Claheen, County Tipperary, which is not that far away from me. Passed through there twice, so I've got some footage of the cars coming through Claheen as well. And I'll put a video together maybe tonight, hopefully quite soon, which will, I'm going to be honest, come with a rather extreme headphone warning. Because supercars aren't exactly subtle. You know, Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Nissan GTRs and stuff like that, they're not subtle vehicles. They are quite loud. So, especially when the Lamborghini was revving and I got to hear a Nissan GTR in full Godzilla mode. It's known as Godzilla, and there's a damn good reason why. So, farm sim stuff. Yes. What we're doing today, what the plan is we're going to finish the fertilizing here, and we're actually going to go and do some seeding as well. Gareth Schultz, thank you very much for subscribing. Hope you enjoy your stay here in the RainbowDave Madhouse, and welcome. Hey, Farming Man, Agrivids, Witchy, Glengar, Model Farmer 990, CD, hello. If you're in around Wexford tonight, by the way, guys, Cannonball's actually due in probably about now. So if you're in Wexford right now, I think it's Wexford Town, they're going to change of speed. Yeah! Very, very interesting and a lot of fun to go just to see those machines on the move and to hear them and to feel them, because you don't just hear those cars. By up the road from Mickey Joe's house. Hello, Ginger Steve. So I'm in a very good mood today for obvious reasons. You guys know that I'm big into cars. I'm very much a car person. So getting to see those, getting to see Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, and stuff like that, that makes me happy. Oh, Farming Boy as well. Could be in Wexford, but you're milking. Yeah, that's a good reason to not go, I guess. Am I going to the ploughing? Okay, I can actually answer this now. I will not be going to the ploughing this year. I'd have no way to get up there. Next year, maybe, maybe not. A decision will be made at some point during the year. Whether my dad's going to go, and if he goes, I'll go. Because then I'll have a way to get up there, and I'll be up there all day, and I'll let you guys know what the deal is next year for the ploughing, but I won't be there this year. Hello, Spudman. Sideways Gaming, how am I? I'm good. I am very good indeed. I have spent the weekend looking at cars. Very nice cars indeed. Including a Lamborghini Aventador. Which, ooh, that thing's loud. That thing's very loud, and I'm kind of impressed that my phone microphone can actually capture that sound. and didn't clip too much. Let's crack today. Today we're gonna finish fertilizing and then possibly / probably do a bit of seeding in field 15. Although there is the temptation, obviously, to do some stuff as well. Yes, some things. Straight pipe Lexus S200 is very loud. One of the loudest cars there was a Ford Mondeo, believe it or not. Ever seen a Pagani Huayra? I think I have, actually, yes. How am I? I'm doing very good, Stephen. How are you doing? When I was looking at cars, you were drawing bales. I think I win there. I think I win there because I got to see McLarens. First out of the day, a minute long and talking about a pot. Is it an ice pot? Like, does it look like it could cook well? Cook well. Fell in love with that Mondeo. I mean, Steve, dude, Ginger, it's a Mondeo that had we think, because it wasn't a Mondeo engine in it. We think it had a Holden V8 shoved in the front. It definitely had an engine swap done, but we're not entirely sure what. A Concorde Elegance, I'd love to go see something like that as well. The weekend's flown by. Kinda has, actually. I mean, it has been a very, for me, for sure, definitely a very short weekend. 2 long days, because I didn't sleep particularly well Friday night, so I was super tired last night, got into bed early, conked almost immediately, and I'll probably have the same thing happen tonight, which is never a bad thing. You got paid for doing what you love? I mean, that's always a bonus, Kieran. If I could get paid to look at cars, I definitely would. You know, if I could get paid to get deafened by those cars, there wouldn't even be a thought process there. Yes, immediate yes, all the yes. Give me lots of money and I'll be very happy. So we're going to leave the Hurleyman ploughing. Where's the Hurleyman? There it is. We're going to leave that ploughing. It is going to rip up the ploughed, or the fertilized texture, but we know it's fertilized. So that's not a big deal. Meanwhile, we are going to consider a banana. Got annoyed with your friend who said Hamilton drives for McLaren. He used to. McLaren is the fastest F1 car. It used to be. What actually happened to the Grand Tour, does anyone know? They're in between seasons, as far as I'm aware. How many likes to get me to sing We Are Number One? At least 1,000, Steve. Because I don't sing. Not like memes sing anyway. I sing occasionally just because I'm bored. I'll make up songs as I go along, but I don't do the meme singing like VF. I kind of wish. This is my only criticism of Jolly Dodger's big bags. And I think it's a fair criticism to make. I wish the bags had different strap colours. So, I wish the fertilizer and seeds didn't look like they were in identical bags apart from the stickers on them. Because that's a real inconvenience trying to figure out which one's which, just by looking at the stickers. DJ, that happened literally once. Dang it. Come on. Sit up. Behave. Oh, be nice to me, please. For goodness sake. There we go. This is what we're seeding. Is there? Do any of the animals need anything right now? The cows could do with grass. The pigs could do with straw. Do you know what? Screw it. Yeah, this is, I think, the fastest tractor I've got. Found a PS2 Formula 1 game. Very nice. Big bags are frustrating. They are frustrating. I'm not gonna lie and pretend like they're not frustrating. They're very frustrating to try and use properly. But once you kind of get the hang of them, they become less frustrating until they fall over, in which case they're the world's most annoying thing in the world. But otherwise they're pretty good. So, did I miss any news yesterday, by the way? Because I literally, like, was away from my computer all day. I heard a couple of small bits of news from Landy last night on TeamSpeak, but that was about it. I don't know... Was anything happening in Farm Sim, or... I saw Cotton Crops put out something about the baler. I know the Giants put some stuff up on the website on Friday. But I don't know anything that happened yesterday. So if something happened yesterday that I should talk about, let me know and I'll have a look and talk. But until such a time as somebody tells me about something that I should probably talk about, then yeah, I'm not going to. There's news on Shamrock. There is no news on Shamrock. In fact, the only news on Shamrock is that SFTN put into the testing room that it looks like Giants have shut down testing secretly. Thank you, by the way, Michael, for the reminder to put the Insanity command into the overlay. So what we're going to do is something incredibly dumb, but it'll have to do. Because I don't have a forage wagon to give the cows grass. I also don't have a trailer, which I could really do with, and I regret selling now. So, we're off to collect the Profi Hopper. Next stream I'll forget to take it down. Probably. I mean, you know that I tend to forget this stuff. So we're off to get the Profi Hopper, so that we can drive it to the cows. I've just realized I could do this a much better way. Hang on. I have an idea. I have an idea, and it'll work. So I'm gonna go back to the main yard because I need to pick up a couple of things. I need to pick up a couple of things because I've just realized a much better way I could do this. Trophy offer in the book of the JCB. That is one way I could probably do it, VB. I've thought of a way that's a bit more stable than trying that, though. Hello, hello, Predator420. How are you doing today? If you're enjoying the stream, guys, you can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, hit the bell, hit the Farm Sim logo in the face with a baseball bat made out of clogs and foam. Hello, Footy. How are you doing today? So I couldn't find there's a bunch of Pepsi downstairs, and I know that there's Pepsi downstairs, but I couldn't find it, so I got actually a bottle of water beside me today. Back from the annoyingness again. I'm doing good, brother. Thank you very much for asking. I've had a weekend where things went wrong. You know, I was supposed to go go-karting yesterday, but unfortunately the track was closed because there was actually a race going on. So we detoured into Cork City, had a bite to eat, went into Blarney then for the evening, and got to see the cars coming in from the Cannonball. Well, some of the cars. That was atrociously organised. Got a sponsor from Pepsi. Actually, quick story, because this happened in Cork City yesterday. We stopped off at Madden Point Shopping Centre, which, if you live in Cork, you'll know what Madden Point is. It's a decently sized shopping centre. There was a tent outside the front door, the main door there. The Pepsi Max Challenge. Can you tell what's Pepsi Max and what's another leading brand of soft drinks? And I thought, I drink enough Pepsi and enough Coke to know the difference between Pepsi and Coke. So I did the Pepsi Max Challenge. There was no prize. It was just kind of, the prize was knowing that you were right. And knowing it, you know, the prize really was just being right or wrong. So I did it, and I said, you know what, I drink enough bloody Pepsi that I should know what Pepsi tastes like. And the two drinks I was handed, in just anonymous glasses, was some Pepsi Max and some full-fat Coke. That might sound like a difficult thing to guess between, you know, Pepsi Max or full-fat Coke, but the thing is, and I've noticed it with Pepsi. I'm going to use the load-all for this, by the way, because it's just going to make life a bit easier. I could bring down the teeny bucket of teeniness, but the load-all is going to be a bit easier to maneuver. And maybe now you can see what I'm planning on doing with the grass. In any case, full-fat Coke has a very syrupy taste to it. Pepsi Max decidedly doesn't, and it's much sweeter. 5 will do. So I did the challenge, sip of Coke, sip of Pepsi. I said, oh, that's the Pepsi for sure. And I said, okay, I'm going to finish the Pepsi because I do like Pepsi Max. Yeah, I was told, yep, yep, dead right. This Pepsi just so different from full-fat Coke. Did I kiss the Blarney Stone? No, we didn't go to the Castle SS. We didn't go to Blarney Castle at all. Collect the grass with the bucket and tip it into the trailer. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mow the grass, tip it onto the ground, use the bucket to pick it up, and pop it into the trailer so that I can bring it to the cows in a timely manner. And Joyce isn't half tailgating. The Hurliman needs to be refueled soon. That's not good. Hey, SFTN, how you doing today, dude? I know this bottle has a sports cap, by the way, but I prefer drinking it like this. How did Landy get the bag on the back of the Husqvarna? You'll have to ask Landy that. I have no idea. I haven't used that mod. Hello, Yuso. Deutz is really tailgating me. Wow. Whoop. How's Dave? Dave is in a very good mood, Yuso. Dave got to see supercars again today. Dave got to see supercars, so he's in a good mood. Do a brake check, please. I mean, that's actually some quite impressive braking from the droids. I mean, you can't really knock that. And now the droids is falling back for some reason. But the reason I'm leaving this with the load all number 1 is because I can shovel people out of the way. Got the tunes going today. I do. I have a bit of a headache because of the AVENTATORE yesterday, but I'm gonna argue it's the best kind of headache. I sound like a caveman sometimes. I probably do. Hello, Ghosted Wolf Gaming. How am I? I'm doing good. How are you today? In a very good mood. I also got to see what happens when a Lamborghini hits a pothole at 2 miles an hour. Lamborghinis do not like potholes. Hello, Tino. The reason it's backed up is because it doesn't trust me anymore, possibly. Lambos hate potholes. Yes, yes they do. That was not a nice noise that it made when it hit the teeny tiny pothole that was barely visible at 2 miles an hour. There's nothing worse than the sound of a Lamborghini front bumper scraping the ground. Hey, you're on. What am I on? I am on the west coast by BulletBill. This is the Insanity map. Which you can probably tell why I've called it Insanity with the equipment that I'm using. If you're wondering why we're heading up here, it's because I need to grab some grass for the cows. I don't have a forage wagon. I don't have any meadows that are ready to be mowed. I want to store them for silage anyway. So I'm coming up here to grab the other mower that I have. See you, so I'm gonna use the other mower to get some grass together here. If I can pull you in like right up against that, that'd be amazing, please. Ooh, right there is perfect. Because I can squeeze out through here. And have the grass piled up somewhere over here. This is perfect. So let's get some grass. Did I come to the rules by myself, or was I inspired by you? I was inspired to a certain extent by Dirt Evers, who did some like weird challenges in the past. And there's a few different channels that did different challenges in the past. But kind of the rule set that I devised was basically me saying, okay, how evil can I be with a rule set? Because I've done them as well. I've done like various challenges in the past as well. And the idea was how evil can I be with a set of rules that'll make the game borderline unplayable. What is my favorite fish-themed bronze sculpture and why? I do actually have a favorite fish-themed bronze sculpture. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's because it's in town. It's literally like the local insignia is a fish-themed bronze sculpture. Hey, Eddie Boo, by the way. The amount of grass in the container does not match the pot. Yeah. So technically I'm gonna break the rules here by leaving these out and turned off. But I didn't think this through at all. I actually need to so that I can go to the cows, give them this and a bit thousand liters of grass, and then make my way back up. I mean, I'm gonna argue this is the most logical way to do this. It's a dolly, yeah, it's a dolly trader, Michael. I'm gonna argue this is the most logical way to do this job with the equipment I have. How do you put code text in Discord again? I have no idea. I've always wondered that. Wish you could lock the front like in real life. Yeah. That'd be really nice to be able to do. But then I'd lock the front at a weird angle just so the trailer drifts down the road, so that might not be the best idea to do, for me to be able to do. But definitely for reversing, I think the front should be lockable on dolly trailers in Farm Sim. Obviously they are in real life, so one little change that I think would make a big difference. So if you're just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are feeding the cows using a Profi hopper, a JCB load-all, this trailer, and a Deutz. Because I have no better way of getting the grass to the cows. Almost all your bale trailers are dolly. I'm guessing you mean dolly. Yeah, most bale trailers are. Most bale trailers even here are dollies. How much do I know about wooden ladders? I wouldn't know about them. You left the pun just waiting to happen. You left it there, and you knew. Shame we can't overload from the Profi hopper. Yeah, that's always something that's annoyed me. That you can't overload the Profi hopper into a trailer. Because that'd be so bloomin' useful. It's kind of silly that you gotta do this 3-stage job for something that should really be a kind of a 1-stage job. Unload Profi hopper instead of unload Profi hopper onto ground, get big machine that is a bit silly to be using for this. Pick up grass with machine, unload grass into trailer like you should have been able to do direct from the Profi hopper. That's a weakness of the Profi hopper I've always found. Gotta be honest, CD, I'm more excited about the sledge than some new Browns. I think that's gonna be a star mod if you decide to release it, dude. Hello, Pain and Sons. How are you doing today? Hopefully better than my voice and head in general. That Lamborghini just... Oh my god, it imploded my head a bit. So, fair warning for everybody, I'm gonna have a beautiful video up in the next couple of days. It might be tomorrow, it might be the day after, of the cannonball cars on the move. Evening, Bill. Well, on the move, and the couple that I found last night that were just sat there revving. There will be a headphone warning and a speaker warning as well, actually, because they're quite loud, quite very loud. FarmKid135, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the RainbowDave Madhouse. Hope you enjoy your stay. Need to take yourself away from Battlefield 5. I know that feeling. I've been kind of addicted to Flight Sim lately. Haven't had a look at the Brown yet. I'm kind of behind with all of my general looking at things abilities. And obviously I've been AFK pretty much all weekend. Still kind of annoyed that we couldn't go karting yesterday because the Munster Kart Club had taken the track. But they need to race too. They probably paid a lot of money for those go-karts. So I'll call a fair cop on that. Hey, they did fix the unload on this. Hey! Do I need another trailer load of grass? No, I do not. Okay. That complicates matters. I'm gonna have to teleport up to the load off. Only 43,000 polys. Very nice. See you, Ginger. Hey, Spencer. You love the thumbnail? That's an experimental thumbnail. I'm really happy with how that came out. I'm getting back into the swing of doing fancy thumbnails again, and kind of learning a few new tricks to make things pop a bit more. I think there's going to be some people who are really happy that FS19 will allow more polys into mods. Some people might be a bit annoyed. Some people will probably be a bit more happy because Giants have optimized just the entire texture thing by using the material system. The poly counts will be allowed up a bit more. Hello, Flexi Gaming DK. I'm presuming you're Danish. Dinner was lush, very nice, Suichi. I had today, for the first time in months, a breakfast roll, and I'm very, very happy with it. What is a poly? It is a shape that has sides. That's literally the definition of a poly. It's a shape that has sides. However, in like gaming terms, it's usually a triangle, sometimes a square, very rarely a pentagon. And even more rarely a hexagon. It's usually triangles though, because you can make any shape out of triangles. Welcome back, David. Hello, Charlie Tennant as well. Don't worry, I saw you, dude. If you're just joining, by the way, and wondering why there's a slow mode on, but it doesn't look like there's a slow mode on, there is a slow mode, but it's 5 seconds. So if you want to chat and you're feeling like slow mode will stop you for like 2 minutes, don't. Just chat away. It's a 5-second slow mode to stop spam bots. I discovered that little trick. You can make triangles out of triangles, you can make circles out of triangles, you can make squares out of triangles, you can make pentagons out of triangles and stuff. 4K is amazing. You're better off, CD, honestly, going with like 2K textures, or because you're gonna have the same. Like, most people don't have 4K monitors, and FarmSim can't really do 4K that well. It can do 4K, but not very well. So if you got 2K, like, people with 1080p monitors will notice the difference, people with 4K monitors will notice the difference, and people with lesser monitors will notice the difference too. What's the Insanity Challenge? It's an insane challenge. It's a set of rules that I drew up for myself one night while I was feeling bored and evil. You're experimenting with 4K. Yeah, I mean, 4K and FarmSim won't really be a thing for another probably game or two yet. Maybe FS21 might. So I know this is breaking the rules. I'm not supposed to tab, but I'm not going to walk the entire length of the map. Hello, New Holland fan. I'm not going to walk the entire length of the map. I'm not going to drive the droids up to the sheep farm just to collect the load off. So what I'll do is I'll CT cheat money 15. Negative 15. Now, I got a very expensive taxi that cost me £15. Creator Tools is great. Hey, Nolan fan. Just as finished making a network cable for your Linux server. Oh, good lord. I found out that Linux has a very interesting failure or error code if your boot drive is partitioned, but it's not the base partition, where it'll say could not find boot, but could find a partition, you know, but it could find that it was a partition not in use. Congratulations, you broke your PC. So if you're wondering how we came up with the Insanity Challenge, I'll just talk through quickly. For people who know the story can tune out for a minute or two and just, I don't know, enjoy the load all cruising at 20 kilometers an hour. So the Insanity Challenge was basically me getting really bored and deciding Farm Sim was a bit too easy. How can I make it incredibly difficult? So I came up with a rule set that basically said I have to use seasons. I'm using I think it's 6-day seasons, just kind of so that I can breeze through this a bit more for YouTube's sake. I would use 9 otherwise. If I was playing this by myself, it would be 9-day seasons. I have a €300,000 loan taken out that I must pay back before I can buy new equipment. So this is the equipment I'm going to be stuck with for a long time, probably. I'm not allowed to teleport, I'm not allowed to speed up my walk, I'm not allowed to do any of that kind of stuff. If I cheat money, I'm usually cheating money out to cover like a taxi or transport of some description. And, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to use the BGA until I've got like 250,000 spare monies. Oh, pro gamer and SRF. Have you ever played Gold Rush? I have, but I'm not too happy with it, I'll be honest. I stopped playing Gold Rush. I think it's a very interesting game, but I stopped playing it because, number one, it was using 100% GPU, which is a big no-no for me. And number two, it was just this unoptimized mess of a game that, like, at certain points it was running at 15 FPS, if not less. That just, no. And the same can honestly go for anything made by anything from Playway. Like Landy said this, I'm going to say it as well. You won't see any Playway games on the channel until they start optimizing games properly, so they're not using 100% CPU or GPU all the time. Because I don't want to burn out my graphics card just to show you guys games that may or may not be good. Have I paid off the loan yet? No. So yeah, that's why you haven't seen Gold Rush on the channel in a long time. Barrett C isn't Playway, but it's kind of staying off the channel for the same reason. It is really just a GPU killer, a graphics card killer. Anything by Playway I just don't trust. That's why you haven't seen much car mechanic at all. Is this the West Coast? Yes, it is, Rochelle. This is the West Coast, and I'm using quite insane equipment. The traffic doesn't know what to do. I'm going quickly enough so that they know they can drive, but slowly enough so they have to slam the brakes every so often, so they're just kind of juddering up the road. It's actually kind of amazing. So the Hurleyman, I'm very nervous about the Hurleyman. Should use a push more. Yeah, that'll be going a bit too far, honestly. Opened your PC yesterday, cleaned out, found a little plastic box hanging from the fan, a little button on. shove the button to the other side and boom, went Nova speed. Yeah, my old heatsink had something like that. It had a little speed modulator on it. I always had it maxed, but you know, it was there if I wanted to turn it down for whatever reason, which was like never. Now I don't have any fuel bowsers, so if the Hurleyman runs out of fuel, it runs out of fuel. Because I don't really want to take it out of the field. I mean, if it runs out of fuel, I can always use the load all just to save it. I'm gonna grab the Deutz again and just drive over to the Hurleyman and see how bad on fuel it is actually going. Because if Courseplay is telling me it needs refueling, it probably needs refueling quite soon. Next thing I want to do is I want to try and get some seeding done, but I don't know if I want to do it in the rain like this. What is this tune? I have no idea. Just look at the little overlay at the bottom. Long time since you watched one of my streams? Yeah, people tend to take a break from 6 liters left. It'll auto stop at 1. And 1 liter will get me over to the fuel trigger and back. What's the next stream gonna be? A game? Probably Farm Sim. And I'll decide tomorrow what I want to stream. Hello, Guillermo. So, concerning when you're 11,000 liters of slurry, that's not really much. But 16,000 liters total, that's not really much slurry. Cows are 48% health. Right. Yeah, I think the best thing to do is to do a bit of seeding. Now, we do need some canola, because it's the crop that I forgot to seed for the pigs. Also means we need to grab the load all again. It's the only piece of equipment I have that can actually deal with the big bags. Next we're gonna be sneak peek at our leaders. I wish, Christopher, I wish. Oh, Rock. Or Rock. I'm not entirely sure which. I'm gonna guess Rogue. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, hit the like button. We're aiming at about 50 likes today. Let's see if we can get that up and done nice and quickly, like. And if you really enjoy, you haven't done so yet, maybe consider dropping a sub and hitting the sub button and slipping and hitting the sub like button, the slub like. There we go. That's that done. Now, one of the rules is I'm not allowed to use GPS in a tractor that wouldn't realistically have GPS. I'm going to refuel. Just so I don't need to refuel midway through seeding, I'm going to refuel now. I'm not allowed to use GPS in this because really you wouldn't have GPS in a Deutz D80. That's just not something that would ever happen. I know there's some other tractors that are this old that you maybe would put GPS into, but something like this, no. So I'm just going to try and get the lines as straight as I can by putting 0 steering input in. You're from Slovenia, very nice. Very nice indeed. There's a lot of Eastern Europeans hanging around in the community. You could stick a sat-nav on it? Where? Where would it fit without covering up any of the gauges? Hey, Truff. Dinus, hello. You have the sound effect from the brakes, the little squeal they put out. Would I recommend Intel or AMD for €700 PC build? I'd always recommend Intel. Intel is just what I'd recommend always and forever because I'm an Intel fanboy. I prefer, you know, I'll always probably for the foreseeable go Intel because it is better for gaming, better for rendering, better for stuff like that. You know, better for the stuff that I do. But if you're doing like a work PC build, then yeah, go AMD because it doesn't make much of a difference. AMD is cheaper, but you get what you pay for. You're still wheat in this field. You had a 7R and a 6-meter Vader stat. Yeah, a bit of a difference, really, isn't there? I actually saw not a 7R, but a T7 today. We call him T7. It was a T7 170. Very nice to see. And a John Deere 6930 Premium as well. Hello, Tivo. How are you doing today, dude? I'm good, Truff. We've got a bit of a headache from all the noise from the last couple of days, but I'm pretty good otherwise. Simulator gaming, hello. What's cheaper, to build your own PC that'll run most games or gaming PC? Building your own is usually cheaper. It really depends on kind of what you want to put into it. Because the more expensive stuff that you want to put into it, the more expensive it would get to get it pre-built. Or to get it built for you. If you do custom build, you're usually better off doing a self-build. Because then you are the quality control. You know, if you're not happy with how you've put something in, you can take it back out and reinstall it. And if something goes wrong, you at least know how you've wired it up. You know, I had issues with the front USB panel on this PC. So I opened it up and had a look around and saw that I'd forgotten to actually plug the front USB panel in. Or I plugged it in, but at some point it kind of come loose. Hey, Oxy. How you doing today, dude? Just completed Mud Runner one day. Yeah, it's a short game. Most of the fun in Mud Runner comes in multiplayer, really. I'd say actually most of the playability comes in multiplayer because you can at least shout for help and stuff. I'm doing very good, Oxy. I was at Cannonball Ireland this morning and last night, so got to see some very, very pretty Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Aston Martins and McLarens and GTRs and the R8s. And something that is technically a tank. Technically I saw a tank. It looks very much like a Jeep, or an SUV of some description, but it's technically a tank. GTR your next car. You want to get a Godzilla? I would love one of those. I'd love a Nissan GTR. Especially with the racing exhaust on. Because those things just sound mean. They're just mean. Technically a tank. Is it a Lada? It's actually, from what I've heard, it's actually an American car. But it's apparently also a tank. I also got to see, both today and yesterday, the very rare and unusual Lamborghini SUV. Which, that looks wrong. It looks wrong to have like an SUV with Lamborghini written on the back. Which McLarens were there? There were a couple of 650Ss, a couple of the original. It was mainly like 650Ss. There was one of the new McLarens that are really rare. There's also a very unique car that I'm not going to reveal what it was right now, but there was a car that was very unique and custom built for Cannonball. That much I am 100% sure of because of what it was. Signed you out. You're talking too much in chat. You can't time me out because you're talking too much, dude. Last I heard he did. He might have part X'd it though. Might not necessarily be the most practical car in the world for him. But I've not spoken to him in like a year or so now. So, I can't really say what he has now or not. One of the more interesting cars. Yeah, one of the more interesting cars that was there was a what I can only describe as a super sleeper Mondeo. Which was it was a Ford Mondeo that the owner had done an engine swap on. And we think he put a Holden V8 in there. It was definitely a V8 of some description. Because, well, it was a Ford Mondeo on the outside. And it looked like a Mondeo. It did not sound like a Mondeo. And it wasn't even a new Mondeo. What year was the Mondeo? It was the, I don't know what year model it was. It was like the 2000, mid-2000s model. The, well, the late 90s, early 2000s model even. So it wasn't, you know, it was the really crappy looking Mondeo with the squiggly writing on the back. Can't be the 2JZ engine. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know about engines much. Unfortunately, I know about like cars looking really beautiful, and sounding like demons. Hey, Eddie Boo. And Kayla, hello. Welcome back, Glengar, as well. A Range Rover engine. 2JZs from the Mark IV Super. Well, that explains why Oxy likes it. I should have guessed that. I really should have guessed. Right, let's go refill the cedar. I'm kind of pleasantly surprised at how much this can do with just a single tank of seeds. Like 200 litres can go a surprisingly long way. Could probably go further if I was using MR, but screw that noise. IS-200s. I prefer the IS-300 DJ. Like if I was going for a Lexus, I'd go for an IS3. Peugeot 306D Turbo full of red diesel. Well, considering red diesel is just generic road diesel here, it'd be generic 306. That went down the wrong side. For a back shower. Well, I know it's raining in Game Traff, but that's no reason to leave. Pro tip, don't try and inhale water, it doesn't work well. Red diesel is for tractors and diggers, not for road use in the UK and Northern Ireland. In the Republic of Ireland, red diesel is for road use. Green diesel, which is what your basic diesel is in the UK, is for agricultural use. It's just the colour coding is different in the Republic of Ireland. I think green is a much better kind of signifier for agricultural use, personally. Because they work in the green belts, don't they? Hey! And they usually drive John Deeres, which are green! But yeah, the dye they put in diesel is different in different countries. Here's this rain to go away. I mean, I could stop the rain, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the challenge. You can run red diesel down here, black reek all the way. Well, our red diesel is the same as your... Well, I say it's red diesel. It's not really dyed. The undyed diesel that we have is road diesel. Construction equipment does use green diesel as well. Or red diesel as it is in the UK. The dye is just a different colour in Ireland. What? How much is a good PC or laptop for nothing but Farm Sim 19? If you want to play it at any FPS, you'd maybe be looking at £500 to £700 for a gaming laptop. Don't get like a Sony Vaio or something. Go look for a specific gaming laptop. If you're looking to play FS19, really good frame rates, record and stuff, and do all that kind of stuff, you're kind of looking at about minimum price $1,000. You know, a high-end gaming PC or laptop is not cheap, and the equipment is actually quite, you know, advanced realistically. I know I've got old stuff in my PC now, just because it's getting a bit on in age, but at minimum 1,000 though for a half decent PC. But yeah, you're looking 2K plus for a really top-end one. What am I looking forward to the most in FS19? Honestly, the immersion. The immersion factor is going to be amazing. Because, like, the birds and stuff, that's a really nice addition from Giants, and I think the new... I don't want to say graphics engine, but the new rendering method using DirectX 10... or 11, maybe, I don't know. It might be 11. Using DirectX is definitely a good move. It'll allow them to expand the game a bit more in the future and work on some of the stuff that maybe isn't as optimized right now. It'll allow for new mechanics and stuff to come in the future. It's kind of... Potato PCs will be out in force. Yeah. I enjoy when people say, my computer can only run Farm Sim at 5 FPS. What computer do you have? I've got a Sony Vaio, which was really expensive. It's not a gaming PC. Or Seamaster! I remember you were Turtle, but you're back in better. Wee. I think I might remember you, yes. FS19 is FS17 reshade. And Maya is better than Blender. Matt knows exactly what I'm trying to do. Maya is the industry standard for 3D rendering, excluding everybody who uses Blender. Which, you know, Blender actually is the industry standard. Alone. £720. Yeah, PCs are not cheap. I mean, there's a lot of people who run PCs. They're not cheap. They require savings and stuff. You gotta deal with that kind of crap when you want to get into PC gaming. You gotta deal with the fact that you gotta overbuild your PC so it'll last you a few years. But if you do it right, it'll last a while. If you maintain it well, it'll last even longer. I'm genuinely kind of shocked by how far I can go with this cedar. How are you now, Chris, by the way? Would I recommend starting a YouTube channel to anybody? I mean, if you want to do videos, yes. If you want to do streams, maybe consider Twitch. If you want to make money, get a job. Yeah, the difference is the tax cost, VB, between red, green, and red/green and clear diesel. Can we just say dyed diesel for just ease of not arguing red or green? Because it's really confusing you guys talking about red diesel and then me saying, yeah, green diesel. Because it's the same thing, it's the dyed diesel. And all the same rules govern it, it's just it's a different dye they use. If you want to hang out after streams and chat to different members of this community, and I do consider this community, it's one of the most active in Farm Sim. Head on over to Discord, and there's usually a good chat going on. Green is the same as red. It is. It's got all the same rules covering it, but it's just a different color in the south of Ireland. So it gets really confusing if you're talking to somebody who's talking about red diesel, and then I say, "Oh yeah, green diesel this." This is going to take a little while to finish. They're both yeah. Green diesel is red diesel. It's just dyed with it's just got a different dye in it. I seem to enjoy streaming more than making videos. Why don't I go to just doing Twitch? Because I make more money doing YouTube, Alex, than streaming on Twitch. I've got an audience here that I've built up over like 3 years now. I do plan on doing extra Twitch streams. Probably of Flight Sim, because that's the game that I tend to just play as a chill game. I know Landy and Sim, well, Sim alternates as chill games. Landy plays a lot of Flight Sim as well, plays a lot of Russian fishing as well. But it's just a good You're on your 208 on red diesel because half the car is red and it makes it go faster. Do you know what? That wouldn't surprise me too much, man. If red diesel actually had some sort of power benefit. Hey Kai, how am I? I'm doing good. How are you doing today, dude? But the basic reason that I stream on YouTube and not Twitch is just because I've got an audience here that I built up over time, and I don't want to start from scratch over on Twitch. I'd restream, I'd dual stream, but I don't want to run the risk of Twitch getting angry at me and like banning me or something. Because I do have a contract with Twitch that says I can't restream. Because I am a Twitch affiliate. Which really should mean that I stream more on Twitch so that I get that lovely, delicious sub revenue, but meh. Can I become unaffiliated? Yes, but from what I've read, that bans you from ever becoming an affiliate again, which is not something that I want to happen. I've got YouTube as a full-time job for me. Technically, yeah. That's kind of the problem I have, is that like I need to think about what's better in a business sense as well. As just like, because I stream because I enjoy it. It's not like, oh, I've got to stream today. I enjoy streaming. I stream at a specific time so you guys know when to watch, but I do enjoy streaming, and I'm gonna do kind of random time streams over on Twitch. So if I'm up early in the some morning and I've got time to waste because I'm not recording a video or something, because I do want to get back into videos once Shamrock comes out, and I need to start pre-recording Shamrock. I really need to start pre-recording Shamrock. Because I've had all the equipment set up on there for a couple of weeks now, and I've just not been able to find the time to do so. But if I've got like a week ahead or something on YouTube, I'll do like a Twitch stream in the morning if I'm up early and I've got nothing better to do, and I've got like no random admin stuff that I could be doing. I will stream on Twitch. And that's actually the plan I've had for weeks, is months even, is to wake up earlier and stream on Twitch kind of in the morning time. But I'm just not getting up in the morning. Looking forward to seeing the Shamrock Valley Fleet. It's, I think, fitting for the map is what I've chosen. I do need to do some admin work after the stream, actually. I need to, number one, get all the videos from my phone onto my PC, which I think my PC has a Bluetooth connector somewhere. Or is Bluetooth compatible. So I can Bluetooth them over, which would be nice. Edit that up, render it out, and then I need to actually get rid of a lot of old footage. It's just taking up space. You enjoy the flight sim videos? I don't particularly like how I've done them. I don't like the format I use for those. I'd prefer to stream it, so that's why I'm considering doing it on Twitch. It's probably better being streamed because it gives me something to do during cruise. Hey Benji! Am I British? No. I lived in the UK for 2 years, but I am not British. 3 years. 3 years I lived in the UK, but I'm not British. Went there for college. Lived there for 3 years, and the rest of my life basically I've been in Ireland, barring like a few weeks in Spain every now and then as holidays. Yes, stream it. Yeah, that's kind of the plan, Michael. Not on YouTube though, because I want to get my Twitch on the go as well. like real golden scenarios. YouTube and Twitch are both making me well, that's sounding greedy, both making decent amounts of money. So that if YouTube one day just dies, I can just swap over to Twitch full time. Hello, Andy. Sick as a small hospital. I didn't know you were ill, Benji. I hope you get well soon, dude. Hopefully whatever's up with you buggers off. No. Pain, no. I've got admin stuff that I need to do tonight, including, actually, I do need to sort out that final flight sim video, because there's one more leg of that beach tour that I need to do. And I want to get the cannonball video done as well, so it'll probably be at the very earliest tomorrow when I'll be able to do a flight sim stream over on Twitch, but even then it's dependent on like 17 different things. Haven't been in here the Discord for some reason. That's why I didn't know. Yeah, get well soon, dude. Sucks being sick. Thank you, Richie. Yeah, guys, could you in the chat speak English? Just because the mods don't know every language under the sun, and it's a lot easier to just keep it to the one. Hey, Wilson, how you doing today, dude? Quality title as always. I prefer the thumbnail myself, George. The title's just... I couldn't come up with something funny, so... I'm just saying what the plan is field work. Or autumn, or whatever it was. Well, not am I on? I'm on the west coast by the ever-magnificent BulletBill, who may or may not be pretending to be angry today. Guard alarm's going off. At least it's not a Peugeot from the 90s pain. My dad had a 405 back in the 90s, and the immobilizer kept setting itself off, which meant the car was literally undrivable. It's. I'm gonna just stop here and pause Farm Sim. Get this open here. So if you want to know what an Aventador sounds like, that's what a Lamborghini Aventador sounds like. That's a Lambo. That is just beautiful destruction of the eardrums to be stood right beside that thing as it revs. Because, oh my god. that legitimately deafened me temporarily last night. Hard to beat a TDI Bora. I actually saw something truly hilarious today. There was, obviously I was out watching the cars passing through a little village today. And there was this guy in a kind of a boy racer car. I think it was a. Yeah, it was. I think it was supposed to be like a Skyline or something. And he's coming through the village, thinking he's so cool. With his terrible wing on the back and body kit and all this kind of not very nice looking stuff in his matte white car. And you know he's got that really bad rumbling exhaust. Right behind him was an Audi R8. A V10 Audi R8. Which, slowed down a bit. Slowed down a bit and, decided to show him up. Because his car was coming... And then the Audi R8 revved. You could almost feel his heart dropping as he realized, no, my car is not the coolest vehicle in town today. My car is not even the loudest. It's just wonderful to see one of these boy racers get completely upstaged by basically a road-going GT3 car. I think the R8's actually faster in road spec than in GT3 spec. The road cars have higher top speed. You hate supercars? I love them. I absolutely love them. I try and see them whenever I know there's something going on. There's going to be some supercars there and stuff like that. Yes. You can't beat an old Nova? Oh, good lord. You can feel it sinking. I know, you can... I mean, like, coming through in this boy racer's car, the real kind of look at me kind of car. With the big noisy exhaust on it, and then this R8 coming like, directly behind him. Because he accelerated away, and then the R8 accelerated away. Yeah. We could hear it from the other end of the street. But I also got to hear a GTR go full Godzilla today, and oh my god. I always kind of wondered why it was called Godzilla. It's just this nickname the Japanese have given it, Gojira. And I was wondering, why is it called Godzilla? I mean, it looks like it's not that difficult to handle. And yeah, it's powerful, but hardly worth being called a monster. Thought I heard it at full bore today. It earned that nickname. It has an engine that can shake you to your core. It's fast and extremely loud, Benji. Yeah, wow. Most cars are super quiet now. Yeah, most road cars are super quiet because it's more efficient. But see, that comes from the R32. It does come from the R32, and it's just a nickname that's kind of stuck with the with the Skyline series and into the GTRs, which are basically Skylines under a new name. But the noise, it actually sounds like Godzilla. Like it sounds like a monster roaring. Snapbot promoting the rules more than usual. It might be. It shouldn't be, but it might be. Might be confused today and just putting the rules in every 2 minutes. But to link this to farming, there was also passing through town conveniently at about the same time a Ford 4610, which, because it's not the newest of tractors, I was quite pleased to see a Ford tractor today. Because it's not the newest, it is, you know, quite old. That was quite loud. That was quite very loud. Also in Cork last night, they're coming out of the city, heading towards Blarney. Still kind of in the city. Coming towards us down the other side of the road was just the most bizarre thing I'd ever seen. In the city, a Class Jaguar with a pickup header on the front. I'm like, what the hell? Why is this? Why is this a thing? Why is this coming through the city? Hey, Martin's photographs. Twin cam 16 valve. No. Just no, Andy. Shoresworth Field, I guess. It's just really weird, you know, all these city cars going around. And, Vauxhall VXR8. It doesn't exist in Opel language. It just does not exist. All the Vauxhall sports cars do not exist as Opels. They are Vauxhall specials. So that's what all the boy racing drift boys want. Yeah, as a twin cam Toyota AE86, because they're front engine rear wheel drive cars that just have basically all the way to the front, so the rear end's super light, which is why they drift so well. If cars scratched. Well, no, it was in kind of a dual carriageway kind of area, so it wasn't going near too many cars. You'd want about 10k for a good one. Twin Cam Ice 200 for Sierra Cosworth. Sierra Cosworth I wouldn't mind having actually myself. That's a really nice looking car. I actually really like. I usually hate spoilers and wings on the backs of cars because they're pointless. But actually I like the design of the spoiler on the Sierra Cosworth. More like hit the light goal. Very nice. Very well done, guys. It's a problem everywhere. Like the biggest problem here is the combine trying to get through every year. Now granted, the combine driver does have the logic to stop and try to not hit people. But yeah, it's always going to be a problem when you're bringing big agricultural machines like that through town. GTI by Fisher Sport. Oh, good lord. There's only 374 left. There were 15,000, but oh my god, the amount that got written off by people crashing them because they were driving like idiots. I know there's an MR2 that... I can't remember which model of the MR2, I think it was the Mark 1 or the Mark 2. Was particularly badly designed and had a habit of flipping. Only came out in 2015. That wouldn't stop people from wrecking them. I wouldn't drive a Peugeot anyway. I wouldn't trust them. They've got such bad reliability issues. So how are we doing for everything? The her limit is still going, apparently. I'm slightly concerned about the fuel level still, but it's still going, which... Unless it has stopped. No, it's still moving. It's going down this way, so let's just run over real quick and see how the Hurleyman is. Yours would be the 1.6, probably 4 or 8 valve. 2 liters. Yeah, no, stop. This is running it too tight on fuel. This is the definition of a bit tight on fuel right here. I mean, it could have gone for another little bit because that's 4% fuel. But yeah, better safe than sorry here. Of course, the engine in this should definitely be off because it's a petrol. As far as I'm aware, it's petrol. Actually, it might be a diesel. Ghosted Wolf, thank you for joining the Discord, by the way. Just a quick peek. Can't beat walking for fuel economy. I guess. See what you... Thing is walking is not very fuel efficient. Here's the thing. If you think about it, you're walking. You're gonna need water. You're gonna need food. Both of those take a lot of carbon. If you're using plastic bottles and basically any food that's been farmed, which is any food. Current waypoint, please. Drive away. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So that's the Hurleyman sorted. We don't need to worry about the Hurleyman anymore. That's it, refueled. That's it, good to go for the rest of the ploughing. We can just continue on with the D80. You have a VW Tiguan. Every time it starts up, 2 polar bears die and a glacier breaks up. You require food whether you're walking or driving. This is true. However, you require food less times per mile on average. You require less fuel per mile if you're driving. You require less water per mile when you're driving. In fact, you require less fuel in general per mile if you're driving. That's the bit about fuel efficiency people seem to forget. Hey, Barn Lodge! If you break it down to the per mile figures, it's a lot more efficient to drive than to walk or to cycle or anything. Any car is a good car. If you keep in service, to be honest. Yeah. If you keep your car well maintained, it'll run for a while. Although, I have heard that if you get a Ferrari up to about 170 kilometers an hour, you can actually see the fuel gauge dropping. You can actually see the fuel leaving the fuel tank. Who knew that a Ferrari at 100 miles an hour would take quite a decent bit of fuel? Hey, Adam. How you doing today, dude? What kind of Ferrari? It was 488, I think. It was either a 4.5 or a 4.8. You're gonna start leaving trampolines around so you can just bounce from place to place. This is a really nice song, actually. I'm quite a fan. If you like awesome, guys, thank you so much. Doesn't mean you can stop liking the stream, though. Keep going. What's the town called on the West Coast? I can't remember. I'm gonna zip down there and just have a look. It's the wrong direction, Dave. That's still the wrong direction, Dave. Because there is a post office here, isn't there? Where's the blooming train line? Okay, this will get me near the town. Riverton on Sea. Hey, Eddie. How you doing today, dude? Mellow tunes? Good Sunday music, just kind of relax and chill music. This song is everywhere, it's not on YouTube Rewind, you'll be gutted. You can't get foliage layer painting to work. Check you've got the brush set to add, Barn Lodge. I know it might sound stupid, but that's a really common mistake that I keep making. And that literally everybody keeps making. Really common, easy mistake to make. Hey, Jim's house, you're dying. Why are you dying? How am I? I'm doing good. Hello, Dovidas. Gotta iron your cadet shirts. Yeah, Eddie's a sailor boy now. Evening, Jer. Have you guessed much? Just like an hour and a half of the stream. We're gonna go until 7 o'clock. I'm gonna call it there, and I'll be back tomorrow. Can't find it on Google Earth. It doesn't actually exist, as far as I'm aware. Dovidas, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the RainbowDave Madass. Hope you enjoy your stay. How did those small bales go? What do you mean, Martins? Eddie on a boat sounds like a bad idea. One of the worst ideas. Probationary instructor, very nice, Ginger. It's okay, you'll be able to watch it back. This is true. Need to put a few streams up as archives. I've been very lazy on that front. How's the classic pack player on console? Will it not mess up bail count? I'd presume it would, but it's on console. Good luck getting the bales onto literally anything, though. Like, they're bales that you would have to Or you'd have to hand collect them on PC as well. They're not a good idea. In general. They're based on the default in-game bales. But it's not a good idea to use that baler at all. There's no autoloader in the world that'll pick up those bales. Even on PC. There's no autoloader for it. Yeah, that's kind of the bigger problem with the with my spreadshirt. Did I get any free merch? No. The stuff that I have, which is 2 mugs. I've got a ceramic mug that I haven't used in a few days, and a travel mug that I haven't used in far too long. And I bought them both. I know somebody bought a hoodie that actually looks really nice. But I like, if you're looking for a good travel mug, I'm not even shilling myself here. You can get a Frontier one, you can get a Landykit one, you can get, I think Sim might have one as well. Don't I get really bored of using small vintage equipment? No, because I love this stuff. I actually love using this equipment, so I don't really get bored. If I want to use bigger stuff, then I'll just play some Pemberton or some, you know, something else. I can just swap maps if I want to use bigger equipment for a day. This small equipment is my jam, dude. And yeah, it can get boring if you're doing the same job for a couple of hours. Have I got merch? Yeah, I think that might be command. Yeah, exclamation mark merch. We'll get you a link to the spreadshirt. Or exclamation mark shop, one of the two. I will say the RainbowDave mug is actually quite nice to use as a mug. Or I guess if as a display piece, if you want to have a display piece mug as well, you can use it as that. But a very good little mug. I do, of course, if you don't know about Spreadshirt, I do get a kickback from all sales. I do get a percentage of them. So if you're buying merch, you are directly helping me. So if that's something you're interested in doing, then that's something you can do. It's the wrong turn, Dave. It's the wrong way. This is the correct way, Dave. Well done, Dave. Thank you, Dave. You're welcome, Dave. Okay. Cedar on. Got a new Star Wars mug today. When the mug gets hot with your tea, the design changes. Ooh, I love those thermal mugs. I actually want one of those myself, but kind of can't be bothered looking. I was meant to look for something as well today. Like Amazon or something. Oh, I remember what it was. I actually want to price up some stuff. Because I got some ideas that I need to buy some stuff for. Where's the wheel? Under my desk still. My room's a bit of a mess because I'm kind of tidying it in dribs and drabs, and there's bits and pieces everywhere, so using the wheel isn't something I've been doing much at all. Haven't played iRacing this week either, because it's week 13 and there's no series that are all that much interesting to me on week 13. If you want to help me directly on a monthly basis, Patreon's the best way to do it. If you want to help me directly, just on a one-off, best place is PayPal. There's a donation link in the description you can use. I get a much bigger percentage than if you send super chats. I actually have 3 different Star Wars glasses that I've not used yet, but I have them. One has a load of X-Wings, one has a load of Stormtroopers, and the other has a load of lightsabers. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually a big Star Wars fan. I'll probably go see... Is it this year Episode 9 is coming out? Or is it next year? I haven't watched the, like, spin-off movies. I don't think they're all that worth watching. So I didn't see Rogue One, I didn't see the Han Solo movie. But I will go see Episode 9, which I think is out this year. The mug's cool, just a Star Wars instead of shows. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like your mug, Benji. I actually bought myself. Well, I didn't buy myself. I was bought a book yesterday because I was in Easton's bookshop and kind of looking for something to read because I do enjoy reading as well. I saw a book that really grabbed my eye. It's called SPQR, and this will tell you how much of a nerd I am. It's a history of ancient Rome. I haven't started reading it yet, but it looks incredibly interesting. Never enjoyed history in school, but now that I'm out of school, I'm just like, ooh, history. This is interesting. You can if you want to, Benji. Views about ACC DLC, something like the early buy them cheaper. Yeah, it's probably early access nonsense. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not actually all that interested in Assetto Corsa Competizione until I see some footage, and I'll, at least one YouTuber I watch has a review copy of it, but there's a Episode 9 is next year. Okay. I know there's a YouTuber that has a copy, but there's an embargo of release day. So I'll be interested in watching his stream that day. December this year. Star Wars Episode 9.
Star Wars Episode 9 is a 2019 movie directed by J.J. Abrams, starring Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Daisy Ridley.
It's coming out next year. Thank you, Google. Who for some reason is Australian. I don't even know why that voice is Australian. I know Sim Siri is set to Australian because he finds the voice entertaining. It's also set to call him something hilariously inappropriate. What map is this? This is the West Coast, which looks a lot bigger when you use equipment this small. It's a much bigger map when you use small equipment. Any map can be made into a big map. Here's the thing. Any map can be made into this massive giganto map. That's just really difficult to play, really challenging. If you use the right size equipment. And the smaller the equipment you use, the smaller the tractors and the slower the tractors is, you get kind of older tractors. The bigger and more challenging a map seems. So even something like the West Coast, which you guys know, it's a decent sized map, you know. But it's not the biggest map in the world. It's, you know, bog standard 2x. It's just the grass textures look different. They are the default West Coast grass textures. But I use reshade, so the grass will look slightly different. There's a shader on the grass for some reason. It just makes the grass look more grassy, I feel. So today we've done some fertilizing and we've seeded most of this field. We've done pretty well with the seeding. I could have put this on courseplay, but then I'd have no idea what to do, which is why we're doing this manually. I know it's super slow. How do you do this? You'd love it on your game. You install Reshade with DirectX 10, I think I used, or D3D, which is DirectX. And then you just get a preset. There's one on FSUK that's really nice. Imagine this sort of stuff on Welker. You could do that, Benji. That's the thing. Is like you can use this stuff on any map in the world, even Lone Oak, one of the Giants maps, Welker, a 4X or something like that. You can use this on any map, and it just makes the maps feel so much bigger. And it kind of puts into perspective how big the in-game seeders and stuff really are. Because like this is a 2.5 meter seeder. The in-game one that you'd usually use on this map would be probably the 6 meter Vaterstad. West Coast is big anyway. Well, yeah, exactly. Hey, Ryan. But just I love doing weird kind of equipment experiments like this. That this equipment isn't appropriate at all for the map, but it's interesting to see how differently you play. And you should try this yourselves. Is a map that you play a lot. Swap out all your equipment for the Farming Classics pack, the mod, and just watch as your playstyle changes completely. Because it's something you don't really notice. That you do play different maps in different ways. You don't do the same things over and over again. It's always kind of interesting to watch that happen, to notice it happen. What recording software do I use? I use OBS for pretty much everything. Anyone streaming after me, I can honestly say I have absolutely no clue. I spoke to Landy briefly last night when I was kind of doing a single air hauler flight because I wanted to do a bit of flying last night. And I went to bed at like, this is going to sound late, but it's early for me at like 2 o'clock. Half 1, 2 o'clock, went to bed because I was just so tired. Like I was basically falling asleep on my computer last night. I'm gonna do the same thing tonight most likely, because I'm kind of just sat here now, and I know that I'm streaming, but I'm kind of cooling off after being out and kind of being excited about the cars, and I can feel myself getting more and more tired. Farming Classics mod pack is a good idea, but it's not got much variety and it gets a bit samey. Yeah, but it's something that you can like use as a starter equipment mod pack. For a challenge map, and I find that's always kind of cool where you can use like a full pack of equipment just as starter mods, starter equipment, because you've got your base, then you can kind of progress from there. Like you wouldn't want to be using this stuff for too long, and in reality, you guys probably aren't going to do the Insanity Challenge. I encourage you to give it a shot. If you want something new and different to do with Farm Sim, it's a really nice way just to change up the game for yourself. Or come up with your own challenges and weird rule sets that you're going to play a map by. And it just it changes the game up so that you don't feel like you're doing the same jobs over and over, even though you probably are. It just changes how you look at the game and how you think about the game. What is the Insanity Challenge? It's an incredibly difficult rule set that I came up with one night, Andy. If you put !insanity into chat, you'll get the rule set. Simulator Gaming's just done it for you. Nightbot will link the rule set eventually when you can be bothered. That's the rule set that I'm playing under right now. It's I think it's a page and a half of A4. or so, and there's a lot of rules there. And it's just kind of me limiting the game as much as I can. Like, I'm not allowed to do forestry, so winter's going to be a very boring time, where we're just kind of doing... hopefully it snows. What's the weather looking like for winter, actually? There is some snow forecast, so we might do a bit of snow plowing stuff. Is it 91 fields on the west coast? 60, 71, 71. 90. Oh, good lord, I didn't even... 90 fields? Highest number I'm seeing is 90. Although you could count the little meadow up there as a field as well, in which case it is 91, yeah. 91? Where's field 91? There's 90, 89, and 71 in that group over there. Yeah, there's no field 91. Unless I'm just not seeing it at the moment. Where's the 91st field? So I only see 90. Just a quick reminder, we've only got a few minutes left in the stream, that if you are enjoying it, you can hit the like button, you can subscribe and all that good stuff. Field 91 is under the sea. Hello, Luke in the one. Is that time already? Yeah, it's 5 to 7 already. Time's kind of flown by. It's been a very quick weekend. Apart from some seaweeds. Do you know, I actually would, because I quite enjoy seaweed as a bit of a snack. Because you can buy, like in Aldi and stuff, you can buy these seaweed snacks. They're super nice. Very salty, but very nice. When you use OBS, it says an error occurred during recording. It means you don't have recording set up. You gotta set it up first. And it's a pain to set up, and I'm not gonna walk you through it in the stream, and I'm not gonna make a video to walk you through it. It's something that you kind of, if you Google like how to set up OBS for recording, it'll set it. You can kind of learn from that. I did it all kind of just by trial and error when I was setting it up at first. Seaweed's incredibly good for you. It is. It's incredibly healthy. Even though it's like full of salt, it's really, really healthy. Because I think it's got like no calories, but it's like 90% salt and then other things that are good for you. School tomorrow, Daft Tuesday, then end of school Wednesday. You're getting your junior cert results. Ooh. Fingers crossed for you there. Fingers crossed for you there, Benji. Hope you did well. Insanity should be an option in the default game. It's how the game should be played. I mean, you could argue that, but I'd argue no, it's just kind of a fun challenge mode that I've invented. And I might try it in FS19 once we get some small mods out. Some small classic mods out. I might resurrect this challenge in 19. And see if it's more or less possible with the new systems that'll be in place. Iodine is in seaweed, good for cattle too. Yeah, iodine, I forgot about iodine. Iodine is very important to the body. It might sound ridiculous. Because iodine is technically poisonous if eaten in enough bulk. But iodine's incredibly incredibly useful for the body because it goes into your glands, your thyroid glands in particular, and it actually flushes out impurities and stuff that shouldn't be in there. And it just strengthens up the body as a whole. And like, while there's a bunch of salt, yes, that's not good for you in general. The amount of iodine that's in that salt and in seaweed in general goes into the thyroid and just flushes it nicely. That iodine was an acid. It's a base. It's a basic element. It is technically poisonous. But if you have a small amount, which is what you get in seaweed, it's actually incredibly good for your just overall health and well-being. Well, map the West Coast. Do I have only vintage tractors? Yes, with the exception of a JCB load-all. I've got the load-all just so I can move around the big bags and deal with woolen stuff. Have I seen any of the FS19 gameplay? Yes. What do I think? I think in terms of hands-on gameplay, it's going to be very similar to 17 because they're not changing too many of the mechanics around. The new field system is going to be very interesting to see how that works in full. I know they did a devlog on it, but I'm kind of looking forward to getting my hands on it and getting really into the nitty-gritty of how that works. Or the new kind of land management system, I think is a better way of putting it. That's going to be really interesting to get a hands-on idea of how that works. Base level, yeah, it's going to play very similar to 17. It's going to look completely different, but in terms of like playing it and just messing about in farms, it's probably going to be fairly similar. They're not going to change up entirely how the game feels. It's a shame they didn't come to Limerick. Look, Cannonball was in Limerick, I think, last year, Adam. By the way, anybody who lives in Ireland, if you get a chance to go to see Cannonball, go, because oh my god, it is like everybody's just there to enjoy the cars. It is wonderful. Even the guys driving the cars, they'll you know, mess about. Don't go if you don't want to get squirted by a water gun, by the way. If you don't like getting squirted by water guns or bottles of water or getting wet in general, don't go to Cannonball because you're going to have a bad time. Because, yeah, the guys that do the Cannonball quite like having super soakers and bottles of water with a pinhole in the top. And stuff like that, and, yeah. Any celebrities? I think, what's his face that was in Boyzone was doing it again this year? Or was he Westlife? There are a few celebrities there though. There's always one or two celebs do it just because it's a good charity run. It kind of gives them a chance to not be the center of attention. Like it's a strange situation where, you know, the celebrities are not the center of attention because everybody there is for the cars. Everybody goes there to look at the cars and to enjoy the noises and to see the guys that are in fancy dress and have silly jokes going on, stuff like that. It's not about the people, it's about the cars, and it's about the charity as well. And this year they were doing it for Childline, which is a very good charity indeed. And you know, it's a really good way to raise money for charity as well, because everybody knows these cars. You know, everybody knows a Ferrari and a Lamborghini and a Porsche and a McLaren and a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow and a Lotus Esprit. You know, cars like that are cars that are in it at most years, and that's what people go to see, and they get the people out, and then people are told, hey, this is for charity, do you want to donate to charity? And, well, the charity is helping all these amazing cars come here, so sure, I'll give a few euro to charity. It's the least I could do. It's a big free event. It's just the best car event to go to. One of them, yeah. Or a vintage rally would be pretty good to go to as well, I think. Any P1 this year? No P1 this year. My chat disconnected just to say please stop streaming now. So, oh, what is this? It's the West Coast by BulletBill. It might just look different because this is equipment you're not used to seeing on this map. And this rule set was actually designed around me doing this on the West Coast. If I was doing it on a different map, I would have had some slightly different rules. Any Murcielago? There were a few Gallardos and an Aventador, but I don't know if there was a Murcielago. It's one of the only supercar shows in Ireland. Yeah, and it's one of the very few in the world that is a touring show where it only exists for one weekend a year, but it's a grand tour of like different towns and stuff. And it's one of the best ways to go see supercars because they're not just sat in a room or sat in a Kudu Festival Speed. Looks very interesting. Goodwood Revival is on this weekend. I'm gonna have to look at the VODs of that because I love those old racing cars. I'm really glad you phrased it that way, Alex, because usually if you got... Okay, little insight. If you got a problem with any of the frontier maps, so Oakfield, West Coast, Lone Oak, Thornton, Sandy Bay, Coldborough, and Channington, that's usually a mod conflict. 9 times... Actually, I'd say 999 times out of 1,000, it's a mod conflict. Very rarely do those maps have errors. And usually if they do, it's because of some weird mod conflict that's coming in from somewhere else. Guessing no land today? I would presume not. But that is all we have time for today, guys. I've run over by about 5 minutes, so I don't mind that. But that is going to do it for today, because my voice is starting to go, and I need to have a voice for the rest of the week. You're trying to use the menu. Alex, open up the log from the file browser. He's playing TeamSpeak. I'll be on TeamSpeak in a minute then. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, hit the like button on your way out, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll leave you in a second because I think you've earned a little little Aventador goodness. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.